Welcome to the Life Chat Podcast, seeking the truth with Derek Powell, navigating you through every Wednesday night. New topics ignite. Join the journey. Let's take flight. Bringing insights that change our view. Derek's voice, clear and true. Tune in each week, discover new light. Life Chat Podcast, reach a new height.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight in Life Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Derek Powell. Tonight I just wanted to talk about one specific thing before we get into the show with Mr. Ceasar Rushes, founder and CEO of 800 Wrecks Entertainment. I just want to talk about how beautiful this day was. Man, this was a beautiful day. It was a day to be productive. It was a day to go out and enjoy yourself, enjoy time with your family, spend some time just to, get next to the folks that love you, love on them, because the weather wasn't all that great for us just a couple weeks ago. So I just wanted to get that out there. But right now, I am going to introduce our special guest for the night, Mr. Ceasar Rushes, founder and CEO of 800 Wrecks Entertainment.
What's
going on, man? We built a rapport over the last few years, last couple of years. I met Ceasar when I was living in in the Wilmington area, and we gained a rapport with each other. I'll let him get a little bit more detailed into that. But right now, we just want to get involved with. We just want to get familiar with who Ceasar is. What is Ceasar about? And we're gonna go about talking about the topic, which is the vision of Ceasar Rushes. What is his vision for 800 Wrecks Entertainment? Not only is Ceasar the CEO and founder of 800 Wrecks Entertainment, he's also a podcast host. He's a father, husband. He's let me see what else I have down here. He's an artist. He's an artist, music artist. He's a producer. He involved with management. Also had a battle league, a beat battle league. So we got a lot of things going on. We got a lot of things on your plate, but you manage them all. You just introduce yourself to the folks, man, and just for the folks that are going to watch later, or the folks that are going to come on tonight while we're live.
Yeah, pretty much. You said it, Ceasar Rushes. That's my real government name. That's my first and last name. A lot of people think it's a made up name, but actually it's not. That's my real government. So Ceasar is actually my first name, and Rushes is my middle name. So that's what I go by. If anybody ever thought that it was just a made up name, that's my real name.
We talked about that once before.
Yeah, man. So, but everybody call me Champ, at home, so some people call me I go by Ceasar with some people, and some people, they call me Champ or whatever, most in the Southbridge, Wilmington area. So, but yeah, that's where I'm from, man. I'm from Wilmington, Southbridge and all that, man, but, yeah, just like you said, man, you gave the introduction of everything, man. I pretty much do a lot of stuff, I got my hands dabbled into everything. And then also what you didn't mention was I also just came out with a new website. So that's 800rexmusic.com. So a brand new website. Right. I just opened up January 3rd. I created a website myself, built it myself, selling my own music as well as my artist music off of that site. So everything comes off of that website. I'm trying to, do away with the all platforms because they don't pay out good. So I figured if I sell it myself, I've been doing good for years with selling music myself versus all platforms. You know what I mean? So I just sell it myself, man. It's a larger payout. I mean, like almost quadruple what Apple and all of them is paying. Of course, I'm getting it directly. So there's no middleman or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So directly, I'm the actual distributor and the administrator, the whole 9 yards. So everything comes straight to me, like everything, and I got a few other people on the website also that, that's not my artists. I have them on there, they get a chance to sell their music, and they get paid on the website too, even though they're not even my artists. So the same thing Apple, Spotify, Amazon is doing, I'm doing with my own website. I just don't have the traffic that they have. They got over, I don't know, a billion streamers and followers or whatever. I don't have that, of course. I just started mine January 3rd. So, hopefully I can get traffic coming to my website and try to build it. And not saying that I would outdo Apple or anything like that, but right now my payout is a lot bigger than theirs. They pay a fraction of a penny, and like, you actually get your full dollar amount, with me. So that's for any artist, or even if you're selling um merch, any type of merch or anything, all from the website and everything, man. So um another thing too is or even if you got a brand, like you can, put your brand up there, whatever. But I do have another thing too. I do have the same rules and regulations as every other website, such as Apple and Spotify and everything. Basically, copyright, infringement and stuff like that. Can't deal with that. You have to have your copyrights and own your stuff, because I don't want nobody contacting me or trying to,
fall back,
sue.
on you. Yeah.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? So don't come back on me. So you got to have proof of copyright in order to put music on the website, and a whole lot more stuff. I'm not going to explain all that today, but it's a whole lot more to it, and it depends on what content you put up there. Goes according to what the rules and regulations is of my site. So yeah, but that's just to start off, talking about that. That's the newest thing I got going on. My album Tilt the Crown 4 dropped January 3rd. Also, I dropped that at the same time I did the website, so that dropped January 4th. It's only available on my website. Most of my music is going to be available only on my website. I got some stuff that been out there already. That's just going to remain where it is. But other than that, yeah, pretty much you'll be able to, listen to my music or anything I got going on, tour dates, video shoots, or you'll get everything, all the news from my site. It'll be strictly exclusively with my site. So yeah, you go in there and listen to music. Uh-huh.
Is the site? I don't know if I missed it or not, but is the site actually up and running now?
It's up and running right now. I opened the site up because it was under construction because I was actually building it. So it took me a few weeks to build it. And I actually released it January 3rd. So it's right now. Like you can get on there right now, 800rexmusic.com. So you can get right on there, 800rexmusic.com. And to pop right up, you'll get right to the home page. I got a store page and info page and stuff like that, a little short bio on there and everything. And I'm going to update the website every month. So being as though it just dropped January 3rd, it's not ready for a new update because it ain't even been out for a whole month yet. So, but next month I'll be updating the website with new stuff. So, yeah.
All right. I did have a question though. Initially, you mentioned earlier about your artists. Well, how many artists do you have on your roster? How many artists do you have on your roster, and who, if you want to give the names of the artists, but how do you manage this? How do you manage, because it's just you, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, just me. Yep, just me, man. And it's tough, but I start off with telling you right now, I have 3 artists right now that's on the label. So I have Glow Boy, I have 1200 Slim, and then I have Rich Music. So they're my 3 artists that I have right now at the time. And yeah, basically it really is hard managing multiple artists, that alone just managing one. But I've been doing this for so long.
Not including yourself.
Right, not even including myself. So
Yeah.
I've been doing it for so long, but I'm always behind my artists. My artists always, whatever work they got going on, they always come ahead of me. Always, no matter what. If they don't have nothing going on at that time and I got something going on, then that's when I usually drop something or do something or whatever. But other than that, my artist always comes before me. You know what I mean? So but other than that, the artists that I've actually had in the past, from I started this label and this brand in officially in 2005, no, 2006. So 2006 officially with this brand. But that's not how long I've been doing it. I've been doing this over 20 some years. You know what I mean? So my first label actually was in 1999 or 2000 or something like that. And that was called Pre-K Records. And I signed my first artist. Yeah, I signed my first artist back then. So that's just to give you a little history lesson of how long I've been actually doing this. For a long time. I've been managing for a long time. So, and over those years, from 2000 all the way till now. We're in 25 now. I had over 32 artists on my label, over 32, not all at once, but I usually kept them in groups. Like I'll sign them like, and there'll be a groups of 4 or 5, or, normally 4 or 5, but it might have like, 3 at a time sometimes. So they'll always do groups. I never managed or signed an artist like a single artist. It always been a group of them every time. So yeah, man, it is tough, man. I do everything. I do everything by myself. Like I said, man, it's hard, but when you got the experience to do it, it makes it a little bit easier. But I make it look easy, but it's not. It's really hard, man. It's
You
really
just
hard.
you just said the key thing, that the experience.
Yeah,
it's not like you just jumping straight in and say, I'm just gonna put everything on the table. I'm just gonna do this right now by myself. Nah, you've been doing
right.
this for a long time, and
Yeah,
like, just for people to understand that, um, like the ups and downs of it, the pros and cons of it. Sometimes it's
yeah,
not going to be just a steady stream, a steady flow. Sometimes you're going to have some bumps, right? So,
yeah, most
um,
definitely.
what type of information would you have to offer somebody that wants to get involved with entertainment, with music, with as an artist?
This is my number one thing, and this is coming from, just um from my 20 something years experience, what I've witnessed in that time. If you're gonna do it, be serious about it. You know, be all the way serious, man. You can't have one foot in, one foot out. You know what I mean? If you're serious about it, go ahead and go forward with it. If it's just a hobby to you, just keep it as a hobby. Like,
That's not.
keep it as a hobby if that's what it is. You know what I mean? Because other than that, you're just going to waste a whole lot of money on whatever you're spending on videos, beats, whatever it is. But just keep it as a hobby if you're not serious about it. You know what I mean? But you serious about it, take it all the way serious, man. You have to invest in yourself. It's an investment. It's in yourself, and it's a job too. Like, just doing music ain't just. It might be fun creating it and all, but it ain't just, oh, we're having fun in the studio creating music and putting it out. I'm hot, so I'm just out there like, nah, this is actually work. It's a job, and if you don't consider it an actual job at this point yet, you ain't deep enough into it. You're not that. That's like the main key. You ain't deep enough into it. If you still having, don't get me wrong, you can have fun with music. Don't get me wrong, but if it's just all fun and games with you, you ain't deep enough into it yet. You know what I mean? Because there is a
Exactly.
very serious side of it. Very serious side of it. You know what I mean? If you take it serious, and I take it serious,
Yeah,
I've
because
been
a lot of times
nonstop.
that's going to end up being your life. That's going to end up being your livelihood eventually. That's
Yeah,
going to be
man.
your main. That's going to be your go to, your main focus. Um,
Yeah,
so like I remember one time we had a conversation. You were talking to me about the business side. Like I really don't know anything about the business side of it at all.
yeah,
But about the points and the distribution stuff and all that.
yeah,
So like now we have the technological era. We in the we got YouTube and all these different little platforms that
yeah,
basically walk you through these type of things. But hands on is always the best thing. Experience is always the best teacher, regardless. So
right.
like you got a lot of young kids now, young people. I'm going to young people, young men and young women now
Yeah,
that want to get involved in music.
yeah,
So I just want to throw this out there as well. I think I mentioned to you before about I always try to pepper this in there about addiction side. I come across a lot of people. We're some creative people, man. And me
yeah,
being a recovering addict that I am. There's a lot
right.
of recovering addicts that are heavy into music, that want to get
Yeah,
involved in music but don't know exactly where to turn to or who to go to. Would you be willing?
right.
Or do you work with people that are that have that story, that side of their, that story to tell, the recovery side?
Yeah, yeah, man. I work with anybody, man. I don't have a problem with working with anybody. I don't judge nobody according to what they used to do or what they do now. So in the present, so I'm willing to work with anybody. The only thing, just like I mentioned a few minutes ago, to work with me, you got to take it serious. I don't like wasting my time and my money. You know what I mean? That's one thing I don't like do. I have zero tolerance for that. I've done it before. I've done that before. I went that route already before. So I'm not trying to go down that road again of wasting time and wasting money with an artist that just ain't really serious about it. So that's the main thing with me. I work with anybody that's serious. You know what I mean? So regardless of what, like I said, what they had going on in the past or what they got going on in the present now, but at the same time, I'm going to definitely protect my brand. I don't want anybody that's
Yeah.
going to make my brand look bad. You
Yeah.
making my brand look bad, then no, I'm not gonna do that. Wouldn't be a smart business move on my end. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, right now I think I'm in good rapport. Here in Delaware and New York and Virginia, and actually some parts of Florida, and those are the main places where I get my support from. So
Mhm.
Delaware is like, I'm from Delaware. Delaware is last on the list. That's
Yeah.
sad to say, but Delaware is actually last on the list for support with me. I get my support everywhere else though. But I appreciate any support that I get from anywhere. But Delaware is actually last on the list because I look at the analytics and stuff like that, and I can see who views, who follows, and all that from the analytics in my dashboard. So I can see everything. You know what I mean? It even goes down to tell me like how long you've listened to a song and so on and so forth. The analytics of everything, man, it shows a lot. So I can actually see that. And my main support comes from New York and Virginia and some parts of Florida. And Delaware is like last on the list. But I still
Right.
love Delaware, man. I still love them though. You know what I mean?
And that's normally the case. I'm not gonna say always, but a lot of times that's the case. Your hometown, your home state, or your community is normally gonna be last when it comes to support. Sadly,
Yeah,
normally it's gonna be
I
a lot.
know,
It's gonna be
man.
people outside of your area.
Yeah.
I had a
Yep.
couple more questions. Like I
Yep.
mentioned earlier about that you're also a podcast host. I mentioned that you had the battle league, the beat battle league. Can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about how that came about, how those things came about, and what they mean, what was the purpose, what was the focus of the podcast and the battle league?
Okay, so the podcast, I'll start with that first. So the podcast, the sole purpose of that was to actually what you just asked me to help other artists out. So how I had it set up and formatted was I would have producers. That's how we actually met. So I
Yep.
would have producers, artists from all over the place send me music, and I would give them the platform on my podcast and play their music without judgment. Like they didn't have to actually enter a contest like most podcasts do, or you're in competition and stuff like that. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to give them a platform and give them their chance to shine from wherever they was from. And I have music sent from all over the place. So that's the initial sole reason for the podcast, was to help, other artists out in whatever way that I can. And I was 21 episodes in when I stopped abruptly. Just life started, man. His life started lifing, you know what I mean? So
That's what it's
I
gonna
just
do.
stopped abruptly with it after 21 episodes, but I am going to get back into it. I'm trying to get back in motion now. But yeah, life hit me kind of hard at around that time that I actually stopped. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's solely what it was for. And the battle, the beats battle, it was just something at the time I didn't see nobody doing. Like they had the rappers doing the rap battles, but
Rap battle.
nobody was doing like, yeah, nobody was doing the battle of the beats. You know what I mean? So at that time, it's probably out there now, or maybe it been out there. I don't know, and I just didn't know about it. But I just thought it was a good thing to do, to have the beat makers, to actually go head to head, the same as the battle rappers do. So that's what that was all about. Also giving out a platform to the beat makers, the producers, whatever they call themselves, composers. So it was just basically like, you know, trying to give everybody a platform, man. I'm not a selfish person. I'm not a hater. You know what I mean? That's why I say I'll work with anybody. I mean, here in Delaware, it's more and so like how it actually is here is more and so like the train of thought of how people are. Oh, this is my crew here, and this is all I deal with. So this, that's how it is in Delaware. If I deal with them, that's strictly who I deal with. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. I'm willing to work with anybody, man. So that's what that podcast was all about. I did other stuff on the podcast too. Like I
Yeah.
had something called a Get Messy letter.
Get messy
So to
letter.
where,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I had a few letters sent in, you know what I mean? To where you can get messy, like talk about whatever, without incriminating yourself. And then on top of that, I don't say names. So I never say who sends the letter. I never say that. So basically they email me the letter. I read it over and then I read it off on the podcast. So it's like it could be about anything. Basically, I was trying to remember one letter I would have been able to tell you about, but I had a few. I think I maybe had like 4 or 5 get messy letters or whatever. I know some people hit me on the inbox and was like, I want to send you something in, but I'm not really comfortable with putting my business out there. And I was like, well, don't put it out there. You know what I
Don't
mean?
put up.
So
That was
yeah, because
that
it's
was a
gonna be
waste,
on YouTube. Yeah.
that was a whole waste of
So
time just calling you to say that. But yeah,
right, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, don't put it out there then. I think what it was, they wanted me to make them feel comfortable enough to do it. But nah, just you got to do that on your own. I'm not no therapist or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I was just reading off whatever they send me. So to be something like, oh, I'm cheating on my boyfriend with his best friend. It was letters like that. That's why it's called Get Messy. So yeah, like it really was getting messy. So it was a few letters, man. Few letters that was mediocre, and it was then I had some crazy letters, but like I said, it probably only like 4 or 5 of them that came through. But yeah, and then also I gave back. Um, I had like trivia and stuff like that on my podcast to where I ask a question like, "Hey, if somebody can tell me without googling it, what song did I just release last month?" And I have a prize for that. It might be $100. And then also I do something like, if somebody can tell me one of my own songs, which one is my out of my own songs, which one is my favorite, and then I have a prize for that. It might be 150, $200 or whatever. So that was just my way of giving back and showing appreciation to the people that did support me and was following me. So I also did that too, on that podcast. So, but I'm gonna get it back. It's called Basement Buzz, as a matter of fact, just to mention the
I,
name. Yep.
I was waiting for you to
Basement
mention the
Buzz
name.
Podcast. Yeah,
I was waiting
Basement
for you to
Buzz,
mention the name. I just like the intro. I just like the intro. But
yeah,
so
yeah,
we're
man.
gonna we're coming down to the wire now a little bit. But back to uh the topic, right? The vision of Caesar Rushes. What is your vision?
Yeah,
What is your vision for 800 Rex Entertainment? Not just the music side, because entertainment it encompasses a lot of different things. So,
right.
what is your vision? And I just want to throw this out. I don't know if you wanted to mention, but I'm gonna mention it first because I was excited
Yeah,
when you mentioned it. I heard
okay.
I heard you mention something about a movie, something coming up. But
Right.
yeah. I figured I'd just throw that out there before it slipped your mind, just to keep people
Okay.
abreast of what's going on. But what
I'm
is the vision for 800 Rex and Caesar Rushes?
All right. I'm gonna start with that movie, as a matter of fact. So that was a part of my vision. It still is a part of my vision. That particular movie. Let me see. I'm trying to think of the name of it now. Oh, Bad Trucker. So I
Bad
named it
trucker.
Bad Trucker, and it was going to be actually the topic, or the whole scenery, or what it's going to be about was a truck driver. That's obviously the title, but a truck driver that's real bad, but he keeps getting jobs and he keeps getting hired. It was going to be a comedy. So he keeps getting hired, but he's just a terrible driver, but they keep hiring him and he's just tearing shit up. So the reason why I pushed that movie back, which was going to be called 800 Productions. So the reason why I pushed that movie back, not the name of the movie, but the name of my production company for the movie, was 800 Productions. I pushed it back because of the budget. I couldn't afford the way I wanted to shoot the movie, because I didn't want it to be I didn't want it to be a Tubi movie. Put it that way. Nothing against Tubi, but I just didn't want it to be a Tubi movie. I wanted this to be a real movie that somebody can envision on Netflix. Not saying it would be on Netflix, but you can at least have that vision, like, yo, this is a movie that would be on Netflix. Because when I do stuff, I like to do stuff, you
All the
know,
way.
yeah, all the way, man. I like it to be, because I'm serious about anything I put my hands on, man. So I like professional, man. Like, I not that there's no professional Tubi movies, once again, but yeah, man. So starting with that
I like
movie, man, I just
I
pushed
like
it back
Tubi
because
movies.
yeah, I do too. I watch Tubi movies, man, but we all know how they are, though. You know what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean? But yeah, like I said, just starting with that movie, man, I pushed it back myself because I couldn't afford my own budget. Put it that If I could put it in those words and you understand, like the way I wanted to do it, I needed a wreck truck, and probably needed to crash a truck, and I'm like, I can't do all that. I need fucking Hollywood for that stuff. You know what I mean? So I was just like, let me push that back, but I'm still not done yet. With like I said, it's 800 Productions, which would be my whole movie thing. I'm not done yet. With that, and then the other things I have planned, like as far as going diving into the music. That's outside of music, diving into the music. I actually, all genres, all the way around. It's not just hip hop and R&B, like all the way around. Like I'm into rock music, stuff like that. So, I'm always open to bands and them sort of things, man. Like I got my hands dibble dabbled into everything. So the podcast, 800 production, my actual label, and then two other businesses I have outside of that. I have a towing company called Ian East Towing. So I do that. My trailer's down right now for the towing, but I do Ian East Towing. I got a guy that got to rewire my trailer for that. Also have a construction company called Low Cost Construction. I had this company for I started this company probably in 2000 and I want to say 2001. Started in 2001. I had 11 employees. Business got slow. I never really shut it down. I just my work got a little smaller, downsized, and I just kept it going for all these years. Now I'm trying to pick back up on it now. So, but yeah, those are all. I got a lot going on, man. It's a lot. The towing company, the construction company, my record label, the podcast, and I got a lot. My hands into everything, man. So,
with being as busy, but with business being as busy as you are you still are you open to taking on new talent?
oh heck yeah, man. Like as of right now, the beginning of this year, probably not as of right now. But because I want to focus on the artists I do have. But other than that, yeah, most definitely. But like I said, man, it just gotta be it gotta be serious, man. Because one thing I will do, it's a lot. I know we ain't even got enough time for all the stuff that I can explain to you of the reason why I'm saying, putting money behind people. I've done that all in the past, put money behind people and just I lost every time. You know what I mean? So not every artist, but I lost every time. Every time I put money behind somebody. So I stopped doing that. I used to give out what they call incentives. So I used to give out incentives to where I would pay a light bill. Like if you had a light bill due, your phone bill was due, like incentives. So instead of me giving somebody an actual record deal and they get an advance towards something, I would give them what they call an incentive. So it's actually a budget for the artist that they can actually tap into, almost like a 401k. You could tap into a 401k, use the money for whatever, but you got to put it back. So that's what the incentives was like. You can actually ask me, to got to get approved by me. You can actually ask me for something. Boom, if it's approved, whatever you need the money for, that's what you need it for. But then it has to be put back, and your sales has to actually do that, unless you're gonna come out of pocket. Now, I don't see why anybody would do that.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I mean. So, but yeah, man. So I did all that incentive stuff and all that, putting money out, doing this, doing that, and really, trying to push artists or whatever. And I was like, just been disappointed a few times. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing that no more. So I stopped doing that. One bad apple spoils the bunch. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, I can't do that anymore. So, I got a family to take care of. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Right.
I can't be wasting money like that. I make good money. My day job is I drive tractor trailer trucks for a living. So that's how I'm able to fund all this stuff. I make good money. You know what I mean? I'm not rich or nothing, but I make good money.
So are you the bad trucker?
No, I'm not the bad trucker, man. I can drive my ass off. Yeah, I
So
can drive my ass off, man.
not gonna
But
get the
that's
movie
what
away. I just had to throw that.
that's what the idea came from, though, was me truck driving. I'm like, I want to do a movie about truck driving, but I want it to be funny. So I'm like, the only way it could be funny is if I have a bad trucker. Like he's just no good at driving. So that's where the whole concept and idea came from, man.
All right, but so right now we're gonna bring this to an end. Like we want to bring it to a close. But you had a lot of information to offer, but and we still, I'm sure you still got a whole lot of stuff to offer.
Oh yeah,
for other individuals. But you see the information going across the bottom of the screen. The only
yeah,
information I see here for contact is the email. Is there any other ways
right,
that people want for contact information for you? If anybody was
right.
interested in reaching out to you, is this the only way, or what is your contact?
I have two different business emails. So one is the one you have going across the bottom of the screen. That's direct label email. And then I have a separate email for non-music, for if it's not for music, you know what I mean? So the 800rex at gmail.com is actually strictly for music. So if you contact me about music, that'll be the email. If you contact me about anything else, then I have another email, which is Ceasar 81 at live.com. So that's another email that I have that you can contact me on outside of music. So those are my two business emails. That's the best way. The phone calls, I really prefer email and just let me get back to you other than doing the phone calls. I can't have, everybody having my phone number. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
So,
okay. Do you have anything else you want to add before we close out?
No, that's it, man. I just appreciate you having me on and everything, man. Just showing some type of love, man. Because I like to do the same thing. Somebody give me love, I give love back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just wish the city, Wilmington, man, especially, the entire Delaware also, but especially Wilmington would just have more unity when it comes to music and other things, and not so much as, I don't deal with them, I don't like them. They like, I hear that all the time, you know what I mean? So I just wish it was more unity because we all need each other. If we want to build Wilmington, we want to build Delaware, we need each other. And that's the message I want to give across, man, because a lot of people don't see that. Everybody's about self. I, me. You know what I mean? So, I'm not about that, man. I'm all about unity, man. I don't mind, doing anything with anybody. So that's my message to Delaware, man. Like, we need unity for real.
All right, y'all heard it here first. You heard it from Mr. Ceasar Rushes, the founder and CEO of 800 Wrecks Entertainment. Thank you for joining me tonight, man. Thank you for being on the episode tonight, Ceasar.
Appreciate that, man.
Glad you left your information. I'm glad that you were open enough to share about what your vision is for your brand, and that you're still willing and open to help other folks as long as they take it serious.
Most definitely, man.
Right now, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you once again. Thank everybody that's going to watch the episode later. Thank you for the people that joined me tonight. And y'all be safe, be blessed, have a good evening. Peace.
Right, man.
Welcome to the Life Chat Podcast, seeking the truth with Derek Powell, navigating you through. Every Wednesday night, new topics ignite. Join the journey, let's take flight. Bringing insights that change our view. Derek's voice, clear and true. Tune in each week, discover new light.